in 6 women who will be raped in their lifetime. You want to know why I was raped? I was raped because a rapist raped me. That's it. But before we get to the gory details of my story, let me ask you guys, how many of you out there have been raped? Okay, that's too many. But how many of you actually wanted it? Oh, come on. I mean, you showered, you looked good. How many of you wanted at least a little bit? Nobody? Okay, that one guy back there raised his hand. The simple truth is any of you who were raped because rapists raped you. It wasn't because of what you were wearing, who you are, where you were, or what you were doing, or anything else. That's right. You were raped because a rapist raped you. So we have this weird issue where for some reason we're so scared of it because it is scary that we need to blame someone, so we blame the victims. Because it's easier. And as long as I'm not like them, it can't happen to me. That's so ridiculous. Can you imagine any other crime where that would happen? A building gets burned down. Does anyone say, oh, that building was so in the wrong place? Or what if like some guy steals a Ferrari? Can you picture the cops saying, oh dude, yeah, totally go for it. That car was so red. It wouldn't happen. And I wasn't in the wrong place and I wasn't red either. So my story, it's not super fancy. I was actually sound asleep in my bed the summer after I graduated from high school. It's the middle of the night and somebody broke into my house and they came up to my room and they crawled into my bed and they put a gun at my head. And they gave me a very simple choice. Shut up, don't make a sound. If you do, I will walk down the hall. First I will kill your father, then I will kill your 2 cats, and then I will kill you. So I shut up. And he raped me. And I waited the hour or 2 that he told me to wait before making a sound, and then I walked down the hall to my father's room, and I cried. And together, he and I called the cops, and the cops came, and they did all their cop stuff, and one of the things I said to me was, well, what were you wearing? Are you kidding me? Do you want to see what I was wearing? Because it wasn't that interesting. Alone in my bed at night. I was raped because a rapist raped me. So on we go. I was just a kid then. Pretty ordinary kid, kind of cool, but pretty ordinary. Time passed, and I went on with my life. I had lots of great boyfriends and some pretty lame boyfriends. I had lots of great sex and some pretty lame sex. I traveled the world by myself. Eventually I met an amazing man and married him. We had an amazing daughter who's now 13. And then I got unmarried and still have a daughter and still have an amazing man. And I kind of went on about my life, forgetting mostly about the fact that I was raped, because the truth is it didn't define me and it doesn't define any of you either. And then one day I was sitting on my couch. I'm embarrassed to say I was watching Oprah. But I was. Oprah, the great defender of women and of the abused, and she was doing one of the shows that she does on heroes and people she admires. And she had on a woman who fought off an armed rapist who had a gun in her head and successfully defended herself against rape. And I'm listening to it going, that actually doesn't sound right to me. First of all, do not ever risk your life for this. It's not worth it. There's life, love, and sex after rape. Don't let that take your life away. But more than that Oprah, of all people, could look at this woman, and she did, and say, I'm so proud of you. I would rather be dead. And I'm thinking, seriously? How deeply ingrained is the shame if you would rather be dead than live with the shame of being raped? So now, not only are we blaming victims for their rape, but we are giving them for rape, that's a load of crap. The only person who should be ashamed of rape is the rapist. And I think it's because we have something fundamentally confused. We have confused rape and sex. There's no connection between those two things. Sex is a violent crime. I thought you turned it in. Oh, no. Rape is a violent crime. See, even I have it confused. That's tragic. Rape is a violent crime. Sex is a consensual act that is hopefully usually fun or at least not bad between two adults. At least two. Did I say that or was that your idea? So here we are, many years later, and I went ahead and decided that actually of all the things I like to write about and talk about and sometimes do, actually sex is pretty high on the list. Company with me and some friends founded a company called NotSoSecret.com, and the only thing that we focus on is empowered women's sexuality. We want to help women figure out how to have sex that is safe, fun, exciting, curious, whether it's with men or women or men and women both at the same time, and that one was for you. And people will sometimes say to me, but Alyssa, I don't get it. You were a victim of a sex crime, which again does not exist. It was a violent crime. Why would you want to put yourself in this position? And that is why I want to put myself in this position, because until we learn to separate sex from rape, it's going to stay muddled. So what we need to do as women is reclaim our sexuality and keep that for ourselves and give the rapists all the shame for rape. What a sexually empowered woman looks like. Well, looks like all of these people, but if you guys knew